All right, listen up, gentlemen, because what I'm about to reveal in this video will shatter everything you thought you knew about that female friend of yours. Here's how to get that cute female friend that you have your eye on horny without creeping her out, without it getting weird. Here's how to flip that switch on in her mind, how to activate that feeling of lustful desire deep inside her gut in just mere seconds, so that she suddenly stops seeing you as a harmless, boring friend and begins to get those tingles going up the side of her legs, up her thighs, straight to her special place, until that light bulb goes off in her head where she's thinking to herself, wait, I think I actually like this guy, and then bam, she is yours. I'll show you how to bypass her logical brain, so it doesn't matter if you're not the best looking guy around. It doesn't matter if you're older than her. It doesn't matter if you're not her type. It will not matter if you do exactly what I'm about to show you. The only thing that you need to have is access to that girl. If you can see her in person, if you can get in front of her face to face, if you can do that, you can make this work and you can get her horny in less than 15 seconds. Now look, what most guys try to do is logic their way into a woman's pants, running the whole nice guy routine. But what we're doing instead here is bypassing that critical part of the woman's brain responsible for logic and critical thinking. That part of her brain that is actively trying to block you and keep you there in the friend zone, and instead tap straight into her lizard brain, into her hindbrain, the part of her brain responsible for sex, for lust, and for animalistic, uncontrolled desire, and speaking directly to that part of her brain to get her horny as fast as possible. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you one lethal little trick to get that female friend of yours turned on without even needing to physically touch her, without even needing to say anything to her. So she could even be standing next to her mom and dad right there next to her, and they will have no idea what you're really doing to her. They will have no idea how you're actually making her feel. Now, by the way, I do appreciate that I've been getting hundreds of thousands of views from you guys lately, and I do offer coaching right here at attractionzilla.com, where I can coach you on my own unique process to take you from invisible nice guy to start positioning yourself as that special fun guy that women go to get sex from. Right now, women likely see you as the friendly guy or as like the nice old uncle, or they just straight up ignore you or treat you like you're invisible. Well, let's end that today. In my coaching program, I show you how to position yourself as the guy she goes to fulfill all of her deepest and darkest fantasies. I show you how to position yourself as that guy she goes to have all of her bedroom fun and be naughty, naughty, naughty. And look, I've coached hundreds of men just like yourself over the last 20 years. And if you want to take years off of your learning curve to become that guy that the cute girl at the coffee shop sneaks off with after work, to get that sexy female friend of yours screaming your name, just go right here to attractionzilla.com, fill out the short application, and we can hop on a call together and see if it's a good fit. And at the very least, I'll personally answer your questions about women and dating. Now, what you've got to understand, gentlemen, is if you want to get your female friend horny, the feeling that you're going after is sexual tension. Sexual tension is what I call that North Star emotion. Sexual tension is what gets that girl biting her lower lip. It's what gets your female friend wet between the legs. It's what dilates her pupils and makes her excited when she sees you. Sexual tension, what it really is wanting sex or wanting a sexual release, but you cannot have it yet. You cannot get the release you want. And when you want something that you cannot have, when it's denied to you, there is a tension there. Like, imagine you're at a strip club, getting a lap dance from some hot babe. And that girl, she's grinding all up on you, giving that dance. You got this boner in your pants, you're getting so turned on, but you cannot act on your desire. You have a 10 out of 10 sexual tension as evidenced by the boner in your pants, and that's how the club keeps you hooked. That's how the club pulls you in, keeps you spending money with that sexual tension, giving you a little taste of what you want, but it's an unfulfilled desire. And that's the exact same feeling you want to start creating in your female friend. Now, you're not going to be building 10 out of 10 sexual tension with your female friend right away, but what you want to do is think of sexual tension as this dial knob from 1 to 10 that can gradually turn up and it can turn down. And we're going to start with 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 sexual tension, which you can build in a matter of mere seconds with your female friend. And I'm going to show you how in just a moment. Now, here's the really interesting thing with what I'm about to show you. This works even better the hotter, the younger, the more beautiful your female friend is. Because look, a truly stunning woman, she can find a good-looking guy pretty easily. Her phone is blown up with good-looking dudes wanting to date her. A truly young, beautiful, hot girl can find a rich guy pretty easily. There's plenty of rich old farts wanting to date a younger, beautiful woman. But what a young, beautiful woman can't find so easily is a guy that can give her that feeling of sexual tension. A young, beautiful woman can't just turn on her phone and get that feeling of sexual tension whenever she wants. Sexual tension can only come from a man who knows exactly what he's doing. And that man can be you. And that's why you can elbow your way into a relationship with that female friend of yours, even if there are better looking or richer guys out there. So the first move you can do to create some sexual tension with that female friend of yours and get her horny in just a couple of seconds is to do what we call an inspection touch. And an inspection touch is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to inspect something on the woman and in the process give her a light, suggestive touch with your fingers in a way that's going to start to ramp up the sexual tension, turn up that dial knob. So for example, the next time you're talking to that female friend of yours, the next time you see her face to face, you might say something to her like, "Hey, so I like this necklace of yours. Does it have a meaning?" And while you're saying that, you're simply going to reach out with your hand and touch the necklace. You're going to inspect the necklace. And as you do so, she's going to feel that smallest, lightest of touches here at the base of her neck, at her sternum, which is a hot spot full of very sensitive exteroceptors, sensitive nerve endings that immediately get excited and fire off like crazy at the slightest of touches. Now, when it comes to building sexual tension with that female friend of yours and turning up that dial knob, what you have to understand is less touch is more. Less physical touch is more. If you touch a girl too much, that can actually break the sexual tension. So to get her horny, you want to have light touches where you rather quickly take it away. It's that light, oh so gentle touch coupled with taking the touch away. That's what creates the sexual tension. Because remember, sexual tension is wanting more of something, wanting something that you cannot have. And I've got a whole bunch of different touch inspections you can use for different circumstances with different situations. You can use on a female friend or with any girl you meet. Inspecting her necklace is just one of them, and you can learn all of my touch inspections in the coaching program. So the second move you can do to create sexual tension with your female friend and get her horny in just a couple of seconds is what I call the lips to ear move. And the lips to ear move, what you're going to do is you're going to step into that female friend of yours. You're closing the space between you and her, and you're going to lean in and put your lips to her ear. And then you're going to talk to her. You're going to slow your voice down. And as you're talking to her, you're going to brush your lips up against her ear, just barely touching her ear with your lips. So for example, you're talking to that female friend of yours and you might tell her, "Hey, Sarah, get this." And you're going to lean into her ear, put your lips up against her ear, just barely touching. And you might tell her something really simple, something really normal, like what you had for breakfast. And you're going to slow it down with lots of pauses. "Yeah, Sarah, so instead of cereal, I decided to go with the oatmeal this morning." Crazy, I know. And it's that light touch of your lips, barely brushing up against her ear, combined with that slow voice and the pauses, that's going to get her turned on and feeling horny. Now look, if this happens, where you lean into her ear and she pulls away, it means she's trying to block the sexual tension from happening. It means that she is not ready for that move yet. And if that happens, it just means that you pull back and you try again later. You give her a little bit more time to get used to it. But if she doesn't pull back and is clearly enjoying the move, what you want to do is twist that knife in deeper, which means keep doing the move over and over again. Keep leaning into her ear, brushing your lips up against her ear because she's clearly enjoying it. Keep ramping up that sexual tension as much as you can. So the very next move you can do to create some sexual tension with your female friend and get her horny in just a couple of seconds is sexual innuendo. Because look, if you're too direct with your female friend and you tell her something really direct like, hey girl, we should just hook up, bang, shaboink, get our freak on, those words are going to first hit her logical brain, and you're going to get yourself blocked by her, where she can be like, ooh, Bob, that's gross. We're just friends. I like you as a friend. Or it might make things really weird and uncomfortable and awkward. But what's so fantastic about sexual innuendo is that sexual innuendo bypasses her logical brain here in the front and hits her directly in the lizard brain, in the hind brain responsible for fight, flight, and sex. Because with sexual innuendo, the words have a double meaning. They have that innocent meaning at face value, but sexual innuendo also has the sexual meaning hinted by your tonality. For example, if that female friend of yours is talking about what she had for lunch that afternoon, you might tell her something like, yeah, I bet you like to put that food on your tongue and just work it with your mouth. Or you might tell her, yeah, you like to thrust that spoon into that rich soup, don't you? Or you might tell her, I see you love to eat, don't you? Well, I like to eat too. Now, the way you want to look at sexual innuendo is as a type of filter, just like how your phone's camera has different filters on it. Like you might have a black and white filter on your phone's camera where every photo you take, it turns it black and white automatically for you. Well, you can filter everything the girl says through this filter, through this lens of sexual innuendo, and just keep twisting and misinterpreting everything she says into having a double meaning. Now, this next one here is truly remarkable because you can use it on your female friend to get her horny, even when her other friends are around you, because it is 100% covert. But before we get into that, look, if you're the kind of guy that is perpetually stuck in the friend zone, in my coaching program, I use visual neural programming to rip out all those terminal, negative, nice guy beliefs and behaviors that keep holding you back. And I show you how to position yourself and market yourself as that guy that girls go to get great sex. Where a young woman is like, oh yeah, Bob, he's the guy I go to get my brains fucked out. Even if you're 20 or 30 years older than her. And you can go right here to attractionzilla.com to apply. And the reason you'd want to apply for the coaching is so that the next time you see that pretty girl that you want to talk to, you're not just kicking yourself in the corner for the next 2 weeks, regretting that you just stood there and did absolutely nothing, like how it's happened every time in the past, but you actually become that confident badass that women actually want to meet. Where you can go up to her, you can chat her up, you get her contact details, and you take her on a fun date. Easy breezy. Now, here's how you can get your female friend horny for you without even physically touching her, without even saying anything to her, and you can do this out in public. Her mom and dad could be standing right next to her. They would be none the wiser, and you can still get her horny. And that's through something called sexual gazing. Now, the way you're going to do this sexual gazing is as you hold eyes with her, you're simply going to choose one of her pupils, look into her eye, and just hold eye contact with her. And as you're holding eye contact, you're going to think different naughty thoughts about her. Like you might picture her naked, or you might imagine tilting her neck back and kissing her neck, or you might imagine pulling her hair like you're in bed with her, or you might imagine looking deep into her soul. And you can just cycle through these different naughty, naughty thoughts. What you're doing here essentially is looking at that girl like she's a big, juicy piece of steak. Like you're a tiger just ready to pounce and rip her clothes right off her body. And the girl's gonna pick up. She's gonna read just by looking at your pupils that you're looking at her in this sexual manner. And it's gonna start to get her feeling horny. And what I recommend you do is you give her short little flashes of the tiger eyes, where you put the pressure on, you flash her that sexual gaze, and you take the pressure off. You take the pressure away, where you go back to the regular playful eyes. So pressure on, flash her the tiger eyes, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off, until she gets used to the sexual gaze and will hold sexual eyes back with you. And the reason why this works is because women will tend to reflect back whatever feeling you're giving her. Women will tend to follow your lead. So if you're having a very friendly conversation with that female friend of yours with zero sexual vibes, guess what? Even if you're a friendly and cool guy, she's gonna keep you there in the friend zone. But if you're giving her sexual vibes with your eyes, suddenly that girl will also start to feel sexual. But you do need to go there first in order to lead her there. Now, the final move you can make to get that female friend of yours start to feel horny for you is to start working on your voice, where you slow things down and you start adding pauses. And this is one of the biggest things that men struggle with and why they're stuck in the friend zone with their cute female friends. Look, fact of the matter is, most guys are just speaking way too damn fast. And they're talking with a high pitch up here in the neck. Guys, to build sexual tension with the girl, you want to slow it way down with pauses and stretching out those vowels. And start speaking with a deeper resonance, where you're speaking down here from the chest rather than speaking up here from the throat like you're Mickey Mouse. And this is especially true when you're leaning into the girl and you're brushing your lips up against her ear just barely. Especially true when you're giving her the tiger eyes, when you're sexually gazing into her eyes. You want to slow the tempo down, have that deep resonance in the voice, and the words should just drip off the tip of your tongue like sticky molasses. Now, since you've enjoyed this video so much, you want to watch this one next. How to turn on that female friend of yours in 3 minutes flat. And this video is a little bit different because I explain the role of oxytocin in a woman's biology and how a couple of well-placed touches can actually increase a woman's testosterone, get her feeling those tingles, get her feeling that sexual spark, and get her horny for you. So go watch it right now.